everyone, how are you? Welcome back. Apologize for being off last week because we are transparent on this channel, dealing with a little inflammation that has been needed to be attended to. So for today's class, we're actually just going to fill in some blanks in the overall library of almost 200 classes, which is kind of amazing. And we're going to do that specifically by offering you a recovery class. This class is intended to foot the bill, literally, when you've been rebounding a lot, when maybe your hips are feeling a little cranky, maybe your ankles are feeling a little tight. We are going to start with some gentle rebounding at the beginning. We're going to get warm, and then we're going to go into some stretches. So I hope you're ready. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this class. As the comments have said recently, there are plenty of bootcamp classes out there, and in JG Studio we really exist on the spectrum of all sorts of intensities and types and dynamics of movement. So if you need something that's a little gentle, you're in the right place, okay? Yeah, all right, so let's get up on our rebounder to begin. We're gonna stand with our legs hip-width distance apart, and we're just gonna start with a little health bounce. So again, health bouncing is just really nice and easy. There's more of a downward pressure through your feet than there is a sense of jumping or lifting through your center. Off the mat is what I mean. So you should have that lift in the center. You should feel that energy reaching up through the crown of your head. Then just unlock your knees, let your arms hang, and we're just gonna kind of sift for a moment. This is actually my favorite kind of bouncing. Just a little sifty movement that gets us more in touch with our cells, a little vibration of all the fluids inside, and ultimately can help to start to support your circulation and your lymphatic movement. All right, so as we continue with this health bounce, let's start to reach your shoulders up and then bring them all the way back, squeezing together and lowering down. We'll do that 3 more times. Good. I like to have a recovery bounce in my pocket. 1 more. And the reason why is so on the days, let's reverse direction. On the days where maybe my energy is a little lower, where perhaps my mindset is a little bit jumbled and I don't have the bandwidth to do a really heavy, intense bounce workout, or when I'm struggling with inflammation, let's bring those shoulders down. We're just gonna reach the arms out and cross the right arm in front, and then alternate out and cross the left arm in front. There we go. So on the days where I need something that's a little gentler but that still matters, I can think about investing into the overall well-being of my body as it pertains to rebounding. On the whole, rebounding is super safe, but it's still exercise, it's still joint movement. And so we want to just be aware that while we're working on the rebounder, we also need some recovery here and there. Let's take your arms out. This time bring your right arm in front, left arm in back. Just a little gentle beginning shoulder stretch as we alternate. Good. Reach, cross, and reach, and cross. We're gonna take it 4 more times. Start to reach up a little higher, stretching through your chest and shoulders, lifting up your heart. Remember, your knees are unlocked, reaching through the crown of your head. Beautiful work. Last one, all the way up and all the way down. Good. And then just shake it out. Here comes Flashlight coming in for his cameo. That's right, buddy. Shake it out. All right, we're gonna calm the bounce down. We're gonna just do a little ankle rolling. So gentle rolling of your ankle to the outside, just to get all of those tendons, ligaments, and muscles warmed up and ready for any instability that might occur on the rebounder. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reverse your circles, go outside to inside. Yes. So benefits of just standing on the rebounder and not necessarily bouncing are those unstable moments where you get to navigate what's actually going on in your body and how to balance. Let's take it to the left foot, circle it out, which is really great because sometimes, you know, we're standing on stable surfaces all day and we don't actually get the chance to step into the laboratory of our balanced brain. What I mean by that is that You know, if you're standing on a stable surface all the time, you may never be negotiating kind of what we might call like a fall or a trip. Let's reverse direction. So we want to just be aware that as we're working through these exercises on this unstable surface, that it's really there, you know, to challenge your muscles and your joints and your brain to figure out where it is in space. Good. All right, so we're back to center. We're gonna start a little bounce balance side to side. For the moment, keep your heels down and just start to press down through your heels. Good. And if you have a T-bar and you're holding on, just let that be what's happening right now. We're just shifting weight side to side, bending one knee, pressing down through the opposite heel, and reversing. So we're gonna do a couple of exercises just to raise our heat in the body, just to raise our heart rate, to get the juices flowing, and then we'll get down into some of our more therapeutic, more recovery-based exercises. Good. So can you put yourself into the pace of the music? That's the question. Down, 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 down. Good. It's hard to do with your heels down, so let's start to lift those heels up. As you go side to side, we want to be pressing through the heels, reaching through, almost finding a little stretch in the back of your calf, and definitely a drop in your weight. Exactly. Good. Go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, we're gonna walk it into tiptoe. Bring your legs a little closer together, knees reaching straight forward. And now we're in the center of the mat where it's a little more buoyant, a little less stable. So now's the time where you wanna check in with your core connection. From front to back, side to side. How do you keep those legs pumping underneath you as you stay strong through the center, yeah? 4 more here. 3, we're gonna keep the legs going, but reach your arms down to the side. Slice them up overhead, press them all the way down. Good, slice and press. Reach and press. Reach. It's a little bit like patting your head, rubbing your tummy. Good, 4 more. 4, all the way down. 3, no, notice we haven't left the mat yet. 2, I did a strength workout last night, so I'm feeling my legs. Maybe you are too. Reach them down, put your heels down. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Stay right here. I'm in a little hinge forward. Yes? Good. All right, we're gonna try a little bit of balance back and forth. Right arm reaches forward, left arm reaches back, and switch. And switch. And switch. Good. Reach them up as high and as far back as you like. Just opening those shoulders. Good. That's it. We go for 4, 3, 2, both arms go up overhead. Just bounce right here. That's it. Excellent. Sweep them down. We're gonna take it into a march, right and left. March, march, march. Good. All right, so first time our feet are leaving the mat, we're getting close to some of our exercises that are gonna recover us. We just wanna get warm for 8, 7. Good, can you push through those heels? Reaching through the crown of your head. 4, 3, 2. We're gonna go out, out, in, out, out, in. Just step it and step it, good. That's it. For 4, 3, 2, 1, stay in the center. Right foot goes stomp, stomp, in, left. We're gonna speed it up in a minute. Let's just get those feet. Good. Out, out, single counts. Stomp, 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 stomp. There we go. How are you feeling? A little heated? Hopefully a little warmer. 3, 2, walk your feet wide, 1, bounce, balance. Good. That's it. Just find that buoyancy, press it down. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1, and give me a little high bounce. Really nice. Maybe a little twist of your waist. Excellent work. Okay, we're gonna come all the way off the rebounder for a moment. And if you're using a Bellicon, this should be light enough to just pick up with one hand. If you're not using a Bellicon, just be mindful of how you're lifting your rebounder, especially if it's a little heavier than, this one is, which is quite light. So we've just warmed up. We're gonna start into some spinal movement. A couple things that show up really important in rebounding is the ability to hip hinge and extend your hips. So fold and extend, whether it's your knees coming up or your torso coming forward. So take your hands on the legs of your rebounder, walk yourself back, and just see if you can find a flat back position. For some of us, it might be a little more on the diagonal. For others, it might be more towards a 90 degree. I want you to feel that you're in a place where you can both lean forward and then stand up and just give your hips a press to the rebounder so you feel the opening of your hip flexor, okay? So we're reaching forward and then standing up to the top. And just try to feel that deep crease, folding in, pressing up. That's it. Folding in. Good, pressing all the way up. Take your legs a little wider here. And again, fold it forward. Big hamstring stretch. And you can use your rebounder as much or as little as you need to for a stretch. Reach. I tried to keep the music a little energized today. Sometimes it feels like if you're doing a recovery class that it has to be slow. You can still have energy in recovery. That's it. Let's go for 2. And lift. Finish the last one nice and strong. Reach. Good. Stand all the way back up to the top. Heel toe your feet in just a little wider than hip width distance. Walk your hands towards the frame of your rebounder and bend your knees and come down as low as you can. From here, we're going to curl your tail under, round your spine up, take that round back, stretching out your lower back, and then flick your tail up, reach your heart through your shoulders, and peek just above the rebounder frame. Round it over. Open up your back, stretch the space between the shoulder blades, reach it through. Peek above. Good, we go again, rounding it over. Curl. Good, and then reach above. Lifting your tail, lifting your chest, peeking right above the top. Now from here, I'm going to take my hand to the center of the frame and my elbow to the leg. I'm not putting too much weight on my rebounder, but we're just going to do a little stretch. So bend your right knee, reach your left arm back, sweep it all the way down, and come back to center. And again, so I'm going to kind of move in and out of this bend and stretch. You're navigating around your frame. 2 more. Bend the right knee, reach the left arm. You can look back at it if you want. Come forward. 1 more time. Reach it around. Good. Coming all the way back up. Switching sides. Bend the left knee, circle the right arm back all the way around. Bring it through. Reach. Up. All the way around. Find it. Up. All the way around. Good. 1 more time. Good. Reach it forward, bend your knees, roll all the way up. All right. So let's take your left foot forward, your right foot backwards, as one does. And then we're going to hip hinge, taking a little calf stretch over, all the way up. And press through the toes, press through the hips to come forward, and then shift your weight. So you're flexing your left foot, hinging at your hips, long hamstring stretch, press forward, and you're just folding folding in the back toes, opening your hips front. Reach it over. Press. Good, one more time. Reach through. And press and stay on your left foot. Slide your right one back. We're gonna lift the back heel. Bend your knee just a little bit into a lunge so you're getting a stretch on that right leg. Just pulse it down and up. Tail is tucked under. You could say this is an exercise or a lunge. Right now what we're trying to do is prep a little quad stretch. So each pulse gets maybe a little bit lower. Go down. Your rebounder just ends up being like a bar, which is great. 4, a little lower for 3, and 2, and 1. Good. Press the heel down. Take your body on a nice long diagonal and just reach through the back heel. Find your back calf stretch. Now, think of your body like an arrow, lifting up, lowering down. Lift and lower. So I'm reaching through the crown of my head, back through the calf. Lift and lower. Last 2. And down. Last one, lift and come all the way up to the top. Roll onto the top of your right foot. So this one can admittedly get a little crampy. Shake it out if you need to. We're keeping the top of our toes against the ground. You're gonna do a little plie or knee bend as your foot opens towards the ground. Stretch up to the top, reach through the crown of the head. Little simple bend, down, and press it all the way up. Now as you're bending, make sure that your heel is really in line with your toes and you're not letting that ankle kind of roll out to the side. Good. Can we go one more time? Down. Good, all the way up. From here, can you pick up your heel and your foot or your ankle and find your first quad stretch? So I'm lifting up through the front of my body, using my rebounder for balance, thinking about keeping both knees as close as I can. Excellent. Good, release. We're gonna go ahead and step the right foot forward, the left foot back, and go through it on the other side. So we fold in the hips, reach it forward, fold in the toes, press the hips open, lower. Now, some of these movements, they feel so small and seemingly insignificant. What we're doing is taking the time to actually move our bodies for the small, little articulate movements of our joints, especially in our feet and our ankles. Good. From here, reach it back and find that stretch. Nice long calf stretch here, pressing through the heels. Any opportunity you have to get in touch with your articulations, your joint articulations are always a good one. Let's lift the back heel up and then press it down. Good, up and press. And I know we missed those little pulses. We'll get them on the flip side. Good, it happens. Reach and press. All right, let's lift the back heel up. Then find that little bend of your knee, tucking your tail, going down and lift. As you go down, think of it more as a stretch along the front of your thigh. And lower and lift. Can you go a little deeper each time? And up. 3. Yes. 2. Beautiful. Last one. Come all the way up to the top, shift your weight forward, roll onto the toes. Stand nice and tall. I'm gonna hop my foot back a little bit, readjust if you need to, and then we bend, pressing on the front of the foot, and stretch. Now, I'm not putting a ton of pressure on my toes, I'm just letting the pressure of the movement create a stretch on the front of my ankle joint. Sometimes we forget because we're often flexed in the foot, bouncing on the rebounder. Those muscles along the front of our shins that we use for balance, that we use for bouncing, they can get real tight. So always nice to open them up. Let's go 2. Stretch. Last one. Straighten up, fold in your knee, reach back and take hold of that leg. Ooh, she's tight today. Find that lift through the crown of the head, heel towards the sits bone as much as you can. Good work. All right, come on back down. One last standing stretch here for our shoulder girdle. Now we're gonna place the elbows on top. Again, minimal weight, just there for support for a guidepost. We wanna hinge at our hips so our back's still flat. Widen your elbows as much as you can. And we're just gonna drop the chest down between your shoulders for as much of a stretch as you want. You can keep your hands in kind of a prayer position at the top. Sometimes you can get a little extra tricep stretch if you let your hands reach back to your shoulders, if that's available to you. So once you've found your stretch, we wanna just round through the upper back as much as possible. And then we're going to extend, reaching the chest down. And round. And extend. And round. It's a small movement. All of it's happening right between your shoulder blades. Chest reaches through those shoulders. Let's go 2 more. Round it up. Stretch it out. And last one, round it up. And stretch it out. Good. Release your hands and then gently roll all the way up. All right. So we're gonna start to work into a couple spine twists. I guess technically this one is also a standing exercise, but let's see what we've got here. So you've got these beautiful legs of your rebounder that are very much available to you. I think maybe if I go like so, it might make a little more sense. I'm gonna take a pretty wide stance here because we're going towards the ground. You do need to be aware that the rebounder is light. In most cases, you don't wanna pull it down on top of you, so your stability is happening from your legs. So I'm gonna take my left hand over to the right rung, and then I'm gonna reach my right arm, bending my left knee for the rung over this way, and you can see how it's all almost twisting. What this does is it gives a really beautiful inner thigh stretch and also a nice upper back twist to that thoracic spine. If this isn't available for you, you can do any number of things to make it so. If you wanna reach onto the frame itself, instead of the legs, you could reach onto the top of the frame. Actually, oops, discovery, that one feels really good for my shoulder. All right, we're gonna stay here for 4, 3, 2, bend both knees, release your bottom hand, and roll up with control. And then we'll go to the other side, okay? I love that one. I hope it doesn't feel too pretzel-y for you. It just feels like it gets all the good places. So I'm gonna keep my hand on the top for this one, and then reach over, bending the back right knee. Yeah, I got a much better underarm stretch on this one. So the twist of the spine is really great for releasing some of our tighter back muscles. Stay down, rebounder. Work. All right, let's bring the rebounder back down. Hopefully we're still somewhat centered. There we go. And then let's go ahead and have a seat. So we're gonna go into our outer hips and thighs next, making sure that we're nice and mobile. You're gonna stand on your right leg, bring your left leg up into a little half of a Z sit is what it is. Now, if this is super challenging for you, you could sit on a block. You could actually do just this position where you're gonna open and close your knee like so, so you get that hip mobility there. I'm gonna show it to you up here, but if you need to be down here, no problem, okay? So I'm here, I'm gonna hold on to the frame for a little extra support to keep my body, my torso upright. And I'm just gonna lift my knee as much as I can and lower it down. That's it, just lift. So we're trying to activate, challenging some of these outer hip muscles to come in and connect. In all honesty, they don't always work in the way, or the range, I should say, that we want them to. Depending on how conditioned they are for you, they may or may not feel great. Good, one more time. Like, I don't feel like I get a ton of range, but I can sure feel it. Now from here, can you lift your foot up and lower it down? Lift your foot. So we're internally rotating that hip. Good. And again, lift and lower. We've got 4 more. 4. And down. 3. Yes, I'm hoping when you come to this class, you come to it because you really needed it. Sometimes I really need it too. Last one. Good. All right, now take this foot, wrap it around, ankle over your knee. Take your hands behind. This might be the stretch you need right now, and that's just fine. If you need more, take your hands forward, sit up nice and tall, pull yourself up, reach through the crown of your head. You can always walk your foot forward and then just lean into that leg as much as you can. Breathe, of course. Good work. Now ease out of it. Just let your knees slip over each other. Take your right hand towards your left knee. Maybe your elbow comes in. Just trying to get some length along that side. Sit up nice and tall and twist to the right. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. All right, let's come back to center, release. Go ahead and bring your other leg up. Oops, Z-sit first. See, I wanted to get to the good stuff. We gotta work it first. All right, so we're here. We're gonna lift that knee. We're gonna lower it down. Lift it up, lower it down. Good. Really trying to just focus on what does it mean to access the muscles around my hip to make that leg move in one direction or the other. Good. 3. That's it. 2. Thank you for staying with me. I hope this is feeling good for you. Lifting up your foot. There's hardly any on this leg. And oftentimes you'll have a lot of motion in one direction, but not a lot in the other direction. And that definitely can go ahead and affect some things up. I mean, it's barely lifting. I'm doing the best I can to talk myself through it. Just some days are like that, you know? Good. 2 more. Lift and lower. Last one, up and good. All right, release. Bring it around. Now we can bring it onto the ankle over the knee. Lean back, get up as tall as you can, and then when you're ready, bring yourself forward, pull yourself into that leg, sitting tall, and just a little hinge forward if you can. Now, if you find yourself tensing in a stretch, you can kind of just like check in, talk it through with yourself. Like, does this tension actually need to be here? Is it serving me? Do I think I need it or do I actually need it? A lot of times we tense up in anticipation of what we think we need when we don't actually need as much tension as we're giving ourselves. Yeah, all right, ease out, cross it over, hook it in and twist to your right. Sitting up as tall as you can. Excellent. All right, let's go ahead and lay on down. I truly feel like one of the best things we can do on the rebounder to reset our hips and pelvis and spine is a spinal bridge. And we've got all this good feedback underneath. So we're gonna rock our hips back into the waistline, press through your heels, open your hips, and lift your hips and your pelvis to the sky. Press down through your arms, down through your feet, open it up as much as you can. And then as you roll down, you're trying to just let your spine drip down into the mat. Almost like you want to feel like you're resting in a hammock at the end of it. Let's do that a couple more times, rolling up. All the way to the top, press the hips up. Rolling down, release. All the way down. And relax. Let's do 2 more times like this. Just taking a nice simple pacing is the word I'm looking for. Just allowing yourself to drip all the way down. And we'll do one last one. Pressing it up to the top. All the way down through the bottom, really nice. Let's hug your right knee into your chest. Just let your left leg come down and then slide that foot away. I want you to see if you can rock your hips back just the tiniest bit so you find a little bit of stretch across the front of your hip flexor. Good. Sneaking your hands behind your knee. We're just gonna extend the leg up and bend it down and stretch and bend and stretch and bend. One more time, stretch it up and hold. Take your left hand to the outside of your right leg and just give it a gentle cross over to the other side. Breathing in and breathing out. All those outer thigh muscles working hard for us during our bounce. And then let's take the right hand to the outside of the thigh and open your leg out to the side. You can bend it, stretch it any amount you need. Hold on to it wherever you need to get the stretch you need. And then we'll bend it and lower it all the way down and then bring the other one in. And just curl your tail back, slide your right foot away. See if you can just bring some length in the front of your hip. Good. Sometimes ankle movements are nice. We'll take our hands behind and then we're gonna stretch it up as high as you can and all the way down. Stretching up and bringing it down. Reach and down. We'll go one more up. Hold it there. Find your opposite hand. Cross the body just a little bit. Find it, reach it, breathe it. Of course, if you want more of these stretches, you can always take a little extra at the end. And then let's open to the side, reach it out, big stretch of the inner thigh wherever you need it. Bend your knee, bring it down, reach your arms up to the sky, roll up however you like, all the way to the top. Now, I'm gonna just stand and sneak my right foot behind and take one final little lunge stretch. So knee on the rebounder, hands on the frame, and just finding that deep hip stretch here. I want to feel like my chest is lifting up, my weight of my pelvis is just dropping down. One variation I like to do is reach across to the knee or to the opposite side, just get a little oblique stretch on that side. Good. We'll replace the hand, push into your hands, shift your weight onto your front foot so you can stand up. And then let's go to the other side. Sliding it back to wherever you need it and just looking for that nice kind of crescent shape from your knee through the crown of your head. Now maybe this little recovery workout made you want to do more. That's great. There's a ton of classes to do, rebounding wise here. Let's take the hand over to the other side. Or maybe it felt like just enough, but the toxicity of the fitness industry that tells you to never stop, never quit, never take a rest is messing with your brain. I'm here to remind you that whatever you do today is exactly enough. Let's take our hands back. Let's shift our weight forward, push through your hands. Take your feet down and just roll all the way up. Whatever you chose to do today for your body is enough. This is a, full overtime, long game, this thing called fitness and moving our bodies. And if we don't create the space for some days to be simple or dare I say easy and maybe just like introspective, then we're just missing out on a little of that spectrum of movement possibilities. We want to be great in all ways, not just the heavy, high output ways. So I hope that means something to you. There's our last train of the day. Breathe in, breathe out. Thank you for joining me in the replay. Please leave me a comment. Let me know if you want to hear more, see more classes like this. We're navigating through inflammation and information. And so I'll have an updated schedule up shortly as we find out what the next steps are. But in the meantime, big love to you for being here, and I'll see you next time.